Derek and Ricky of Suffocation, welcome to 69 Faces of Rock. How are you doing?
Oh, we're doing good, man. Doing good.
Very good, very good. Another day in paradise.
Another day in paradise. Speaking of paradise, that's paradise been closed for a while due to COVID.
Nightmare.
Nightmare. What did you guys do during this time
I was
off?
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
I was sleeping 16, 18 hours a day. I know it's not particularly healthy, but fuck it. I was trying to time travel to when they would get the pandemic lifted. So I thought if I slept, you know, when you're asleep, you don't realize how much time goes by. So I thought if I could sleep for the next 2 years.
Me myself, I honed in on my my vocals. I bought a bunch of recording stuff and
perfected his craft.
Yeah, and started pre-production for the new Suffocation album.
So how did things get going again with Suffocation? Anything?
We've been moving the whole time, but like the gears are slower because normally we're on an album cycle, touring cycle, album cycle, touring cycle. When the pandemic cycle hit, it wasn't something we were used to, so we utilized the free time to write, perfect our craft, like what we were talking about, and also purchase some recording equipment to make sure we can do pre-production and make sure we're set. So we're about 3/4 of the way through the new album. It's going to be sick. 2023 Nuclear Blast, new Suffocation. Not allowed to announce the name just
can't
yet.
announce it?
Not yet.
Not yet. It's a secret.
Too soon.
How did you survive financially, not being able to work?
We're very, very lucky that you know, we got a lot of licenses, a lot of royalties, a lot of distribution deals going on. So little drips and drabs. I mean, we were like up to here, you know, and able to survive. We didn't go under, but we didn't get up like the way we're used to getting up. So it was rough, you know, and a lot of bands don't make it through things like that. Luckily for us, we sat, we wrote, we collected royalties. We took the Nuclear Blast album advance, you know, to make sure we're going to produce a record for them. So little things like that, they all added up and allowed us to stay afloat.
And the last album you did, how did that do for you?
It did really well. I mean, for us, it's tricky. You know, you're supposed to drop a record, go all over the world to support that record. You know, the more you play, the more you're promoting your release. So we were kind of, I don't know, halfway into our cycle to promote Of the Dark Light, and the pandemic hit. We were in Switzerland, everybody go the fuck home, and that was the end of it. And now here we are, we put the live album out while the pandemic was on. So we're just kind of just doing a little bit of wrap up, and then there'll be the new album, and then we'll be out supporting that.
Vocally, you had to step into a brand new role, not exactly a new role,
right.
but full-time role this time.
Doing great.
Yeah,
absolutely.
What was that like for you?
It's very hard. I mean, Frank is a legend.
Unique.
You know, very, very unique voice of death metal, and for you to emulate Frank is impossible.
Yeah, he's
nobody
one
can
of
do
a
it.
kind of guy.
And nobody's trying to do it. You want to get close to him, but you want to have your own style also at the same time.
And it's Suffocation, you know.
As long as it's Suffocation, you know, we believe.
Work.
Right now, I think believe towards the more effigy, more pierce from within, more order style is where the vocal pattern and
styling
is going for sure.
We're not worried about it. We're going to do great.
What kind of a spin are you giving those songs from your angle?
Lyrically,
or
I mean,
well, just like vocally, like you step into this role, like are you adding yourself into the picture?
You're kind of like, you know, really in a one lane. You know, Frank doesn't sing clean, he doesn't sing high, he's guttural. So
yeah, to where Frank has one style,
got a sound.
I have multiple voices, but we try to incorporate some kind of close to Frank as much as you can.
But it's still got to be his.
And it's still got to be.
Still got to be his. But
listen, I'm not Frank, and I never will be.
No one will.
I will be Ricky. No one will be Frank, and this is a new Suffocation.
Well, the thing is, Ricky, Frank is not coming back.
No.
And you in the band. So my question is, where are you gonna take it from here?
I'm gonna take it. Hopefully, you know, keep it going. You know, yeah. I mean, you want to keep up with the things that are going on nowadays, and you want to stay brutal. And I believe Suffocation in the '90s were more brutal. Not saying that they weren't.
I get it. It was
but I definitely think it changed. In my point,
it evolved into something different.
Totally.
And the beginning was barbaric and sick, and he wants to take it back to the barbaric brutality, and that's perfect for us.
I want it to be brutal. Suffocation has been known as a brutal band, and I would like to keep it that way.
Sounds good. And right now you're part of the songwriting cycle.
Yes.
How is that looking? And how much input do you have?
I have all input with the help of
we give him full reign, but we also we're lucky that he's putting a lot of material on the table, bringing it to us. We can, you know, kind of just
manipulate it.
streamline like a piece of clay. You know, we all get to push it around until it shapes the way we like it. The fact he's bringing so much to the table, it's fantastic, and we can say yes, okay, let's work on that, leave that, let's go with that, and there's not a lot of leave that. Everything he's bringing is spot on.
And you also got to think that Frank has been in this process for about 15 years almost now. So for him to leave, he really didn't do too much. Derek did a lot.
I was writing most of the lyrics because Frank was living his life.
Yeah, he had a wife.
He wanted to do the shows,
yeah.
but at home when we're sitting there with perfecting our craft, Frank was working, family, hanging out, and so at that point we started writing, helping, assisting him. So I've been doing it for the last like 15, 20 years, helping Frank with words and concepts. And Ricky already knew this and kind of jumped in and said, well, I'll just keep doing what you're doing, and it's relieved me a great deal because he's handing in great stuff. So win, win, win.
It's gonna be good.
So it looks like this transition's been really smooth.
Very smooth.
It has been.
Yeah.
Very smooth.
Okay. Have you guys heard from Frank since he left the band?
All the time.
I was at Frank's house 2 days ago.
Frank just called me and he wished me a happy birthday. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, we're all good friends. Let's not get that mistaken. That every single buddy in this band, past, former members, we're all family.
Need just a small moment for this small break.
Sorry.
Pardon us. Suffocation style, baby. That's how we do it.
All right.
Sorry.
You guys have a large catalog. Probably very difficult to draw out of that. What songs are you enjoying playing?
This is a tricky scenario because I
It
did
is
some
tricky.
interviews today and it was the similar idea. How do you choose your set?
Yeah.
Well, you got to keep the oldie but goodies. If you're not playing Pierce from Within, you're fucking up.
Yeah.
Funeral Inception's insane. You got Effigy, Infecting. So many songs you have to keep in the set. And Charlie's one of the guys that's like, yo, boys, we got way too many songs to keep playing the same songs. So we're trying to incorporate a few new ones, but it's hard. You only have, unless we're playing 2.5 hours, we can't just add these songs. We have to take something out to put something in.
I would almost say, as a new member, you don't want to look at it from a fan point, standpoint, that we want to play songs that we thought were sick before we even joined the band. Like, these are the bangers. These are the ones we want to play. This is what people want to hear. So we've been probably pretty good about it. Yeah,
trying to balance it.
Personally, which ones are your favorites?
That's tough, man.
I know.
Funeral, Bind, Torture, Kill.
You got Liege. Liege of
got the
Veracity.
Liege Slam. We're opening with Liege now, which is fucked up because we always, came out with the old stuff, and now we're even opening older. But it's tough, man. They're all great. It's very rare that I'm like, oh man, we're playing that song.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen.
That
We
never
go,
happens.
oh yeah,
That never
let's do it.
happens. That never happens.
What about from the vocal point of view? Because you have to sing them.
All the same.
Oh shit! I would say, not Thrones. I'm sorry. Liege would be my favorite. PTK.
Bind, Torture, Kill.
Bind. God, I would say every song that we're playing, I'm a huge fan of. This is the songs before I even joined the band, and I'm a huge fan of. And also, Clarity of Deprivation is my favorite, and that's off of the Dark Light. So.
Is there a song you want these guys to play and they're not budging in?
That's this one. Pan your camera around. Pan your camera over there. This one's like, play that.
Every song that we haven't played in the last 20 years. I want to play every song that Suffocation's never played live.
Yeah.
It's my goal.
That's what
They're good songs.
I would like to show the fans what the songs sound like live if they've never been played. There's a lot of songs that have never been played on stage.
Very
ever
true.
in the history. And I would love to be able to actually play those live.
Yeah.
Let me know what you guys think.
What about the songs you want to sing that maybe there's something that they haven't done, but man, I want to do that one?
I mean, you got Seeds of the Suffering.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Blood Oath. There's a lot of songs that I love that we don't play at this moment. Yeah.
But again, it's hard to pull out the oldie but goodies.
Because what
to
songs do you
swap
play?
in some
Do you
songs.
put Blood Oath in and get rid of Funeral? No.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's hard.
You can't
It's
take
so
Pierce
hard.
from Within out to put in Seeds of the Suffering. So
Right.
you got to add it. But it's a finite amount of time. You got X amount of songs you can play in your hour.
And we usually do an A and B list.
So we have double
One
the
set
amount of
list.
songs.
We got 24 songs right now.
Easily that the whole
That
band
we're-
knows.
Yeah, that
Play
we're
12 one
rotating
day,
in and
12
out.
the
We
next
rotate
day.
them.
Yeah.
It's the only thing you can really do at this point.
You had been involved with the lyrics for a while.
Yeah.
How are the lyrics changing over the years?
The change is more of an evolution. For this record I was reading these books or watching these films. For this record I was watching different films or reading different books. So, you kind of get inspired by like, take a concept. And the concept that Ricky brought me was so great that I was like, I don't have to dig. Let's expand on what you already brought, and it's just,
without saying the album, I can say it is the concept is the deception between gods and men is the concept on this album. How we've been manipulated. So it is very interesting. It is a book that I've been reading and a topic that I've been.
Can you introduce the book and
I
tell
was
me?
gonna say, don't say the name of the book.
Yeah, I already did. So
how did you come across it, maybe?
Actually, I came across it from Coast to Coast AM.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, he introduced me
radio.
to it. Radio. Coast to Coast AM. Yeah, radio.
Like, for example, Pinnacle of Bedlam, I was reading the Tibetan Book of the Dead.
Right.
So I was reading this book, looking through it. I was watching the particular films that were on my list, and then, so it went toward a transcending, and then that carried over to Of the Dark Light. Ricky brought a new concept that totally ties into our field, and I went, let's do it. Let's just, and you don't want a theme album where every song has to be
the same, yeah.
But you also don't
In
want
that
every
direction.
song to be in a fucking, this one's about blood and guts, this one's about God and the devil, this one's about fucking my struggles in my everyday life. No, you don't want that. You want to kind of focus a little bit, and like with the last few albums, we kind of carried a little bit of theme lyrically. He switched the theme, we like the new theme, and it's not like we have to be married to it, but we want to stay within
The boundaries
a close.
And I think this album, if you agree, is more dark.
It is.
I think
It's a little bit dark lyrically.
Even the rhythms actually either. Like Hobbs is playing some shit to the table. That's
Real bizarre shit.
fucking.
It's
totally,
still it's like not like
It's
we brought,
Suffo.
it's
It's
not
Suffo.
like we brought a violin player in the band.
Yeah,
we
no.
didn't bring a keyboard player. We didn't get clean vocals. It's still Suffo, but there's something weird melodically going on that we're like, yo, that's new. That's good.
It's crazy.
And it's not that far off
Yeah.
the beaten path of what we would have done.
Yeah.
It's an evolution within the boundaries.
It is different though. You hear
is.
it and
It
you
is.
go, it's Suffocation, but it's got some different elements into it, and I think it's.
And we're actually happy about that.
Yeah.
You can't just keep putting out effigy.
Yeah. Don't put out the same album every fucking
You
time.
can't keep putting out
do
the
it.
same
You just
record.
can't do it.
Tell me about the Suffocation image, the way your album covers are, your T-shirts. I mean, there's a common link there.
Yes, and in our perspective, a little bit of no, because we use so many different artists. And we always kind of give them a little direction. And I mean, believe me, when you get something comes back, it looks like a goddamn fruit stand. Like Charlie's like, fuck that, it's gotta stay monochromatic dark, make it have something that pops. So it's weird, we're working with different artists. We always tell the artist, or the artist always asks, hey, well, what's this about? We can either give them lyrics, what do you think? Give them full creative control, and if they send something, we can always tweak them a little bit. I mean, like, for example, I keep falling back on Pinnacle, but Raymond Swanland did the artwork, and when he handed in his first, sketch, he gave us, 9 different versions. And we're like, holy shit, those are good right the way they are. You want to put the finishing touches on them, we'll take that one, and that one too, because we need extra t-shirts, but he handed in, so much stuff that it's not like you're working with a guy who can only, draw this one thing. This guy, everybody we use is very versatile. So we give them concepts, we give them free reign. So as consistent as it is for you guys, it's very inconsistent for us, but we're always common theme. Nasty.
Yeah.
Finally, how would you say the world of death metal has been changing throughout the time that you have been in the band?
shit.
You can do it, yeah.
Yeah, I would say you've gone from brutal to technical,
It's now become commercial.
and now
to be heavy.
you're into the death.
It's commercially heavy.
The core. Let's say Lorna Shore, Signs of the Swarm. These bands right now are evolving into what everybody's listening to.
Super popular.
Super popular, and you go see their shows, sold out fucking shows.
Everybody's pumping their fist. The whole place is bombing.
I just believe that it will go in full circle, like it always does.
It does.
It always does.
Everything
With every
comes-
music, it seems like it always goes in circles.
But it's weird that they
Who is
took-
going to present the new fucking style? You got to meet a happy medium.
But it's also fun that there was a heavy thing going on in the 90s. Florida death metal was fast and evil and aggressive, and then the ups New York, further north you went, and Canada and stuff, it got a little darker and heavier and more dismal.
And then you get to Cali, fucking.
and that was fast and technical.
Decrepit Birthday,
All that,
Decrepit Birth, and
Discouraged
all that.
Deeds, everybody. But the fucked up thing is the new bands, they took the heavy sound of what Suffocation or some of the early bands are doing,
Yeah.
but they're doing it in like a commercially acceptable way that's actually going to help us in the long run. But it's weird, they don't know they're doing it. We don't, the fans don't know it's going to come around full circle, but the way everything, you know, comes in and out of fashion, these young bands are playing heavy like Suffocation. They know who Suffocation is. The fans don't.
But you also, in that
The
same
fans
time, you do want to incorporate what is current.
You gotta stay current.
You want to keep up with current trends. You know, you
We're
don't
not
want
gonna change,
We're
bro.
not going to change at all. But we already have those elements that they already have, so we're just incorporating it.
Yeah,
But
true.
we do. It's not intentional. It's just how it
Natural
is.
progression.
It's just how it is.
Yeah, natural.
You know? It's what we listen to, how we feel, and things like that. You know.
That's it.
So basically, this is not something that you do every now and then. It's a lifestyle.
This is a lifestyle.
Oh, absolutely.
It's an absolute lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 20-something years, 20-something, 30-something years, you know, like Hobbs 30 years, these guys are 15, 20 years, you know. Professionally, we can mark our calendars, but how long we've been into it and how long we've been doing it, and then now finally doing it on the right level.
Yeah,
we've
so-
been at this for decades, you know.
Suffocation started in, you know, 30 years plus.
Yep.
And they're still sustaining this right now. Hobbs is keeping it going.
Bizarre, yeah.
And Derek, it's amazing. It's not easy. You can be the flavor of the week, but how long can you sustain it is the question.
This is a long,
you know, it's a long journey.
road,
And
yeah.
if your heart's not in this, you won't
You're
last.
out,
And that's
yeah.
all there is to it.
Yep.
That's why so many people were in and out.
Absolutely.
That's it. One-hit wonders.
We've seen so many bands come and go, it's not even funny. You know,
Get
and
your one hits.
yeah, you know, it's like, yeah, great, this band is great this fucking year or whatever. And
Well,
then
their
and
fans-
they fade away.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's gone. But Suffocation's been consistent for 30 plus years. And that's something that people really need to remember. The Suffocation's here, they've never left, and we're never leaving. And that's all there is to it.
It's life.
You're touring right now. Any fun stories from the road?
So far, we just got started. I mean, not fun, but bizarre for one for you. So we started out in Brooklyn, New York. Second show, Maryland Death Fest. Sick.
Great.
Total storm. Everybody was cleared out. We got the perfect slot. Everything was crystal clear. Here's your fun story. Not so fun.
Shut
Somebody
down everything.
bailed off the top roof and splattered into a
Committed
million
suicide
pieces at our show.
at our show. Or during our, you know, before
They
our
didn't
show.
go get the body. They got the parts. The body
Yeah.
bounced into multiple places.
Committed suicide. Took a fucking
not a
swan
fun
dive.
story, but there's our first story.
And our condolences to those
Oh yeah,
people,
no,
family,
believe me,
forever.
not what you should be doing, or who knows their demons, you know. But there's our first story.
Wow, not a happy one.
Absolutely not.
Can you think of something happier to
Nope,
end on
that's
a happy
it. No,
note?
that's how we're gonna wrap up. No, that's how we're wrapping this up.
Sour note. Yeah.
It's gotta be sour. It's gotta
All right,
be
all right,
evil.
all right. 2023, Nuclear Blast, Suffocation, new album. We're heading down to Latin America, South America, Mexico. We're gonna do Australia. We got Europe summer festivals. The Forces of Hostility 2022 North America tour is happening right now. Come and see us.
Yeah, man, come
We're in
check
your
it out.
town right
Come
now.
check it
Look
out.
up the socials, all your dates. We're coming to your town or nearby. Come on out. Let's get lit.
Hell yeah.
Go guttural.
Yeah, that's a sick one. Yeah, that's a sick one.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
It was like a bent part.